Okay, so this one comes with much anger, frustration, and just complete disappointment. I'm going to be describing you in political disagreements what trap gaming is. Now, trap gaming occurs whenever a group of people want to believe in something, or it occurs in two conditions. A group of people believe in something and want to assert through sexuological occurrence that two people achieving sex despite somebody not wanting them to means that those people must have been right about what they agree upon. But it's not. That's not how things work. Two people can just agree to commit a crime. Doesn't mean that crime is right. Okay. And another reason is that in female, this is what occurs in females. They rely on the idea that they can rely on a male for survival, which is one of the reasons of feminism occurred. They believe they can rely on males for survival and thus put themselves in a position in which they cannot survive without having a male to rely on. You ever wondered why girls like horses? This is why. Because there are a lot of women who see men like horses that they're riding for a while until they find a better horse. Okay, so here's how it goes. So this is your basic trap relationship. You have your female with her secret willingness to, hypergamize on you. And then you have the male who is unaware. Now, the male and the female live their lives. They go on, yada, yada, yada. And this is what I meant by those who take invitations. Those invitations of those physiological communications of at this point, I wouldn't mind if you did it, right? And so, at some point, they're hanging out with another guy. And this guy is... Let's say she assesses the situation and she says that physically he couldn't win the fight. He doesn't have any social connections that he can outsmart. There's nothing just stopping us from doing it and hiding it, right? And so she opens up. This stops being a secret. It starts opening up. He opens his and they both agree they want this to happen, right? There's the agreement. And this happens outside of the person's point of view. This happens under his nose. And then once they've agreed that that's what's going to happen, it moves on to the girl, then without really saying it on the surface, telling the guy that it's going to happen. And what this does, it disturbs the guy. Remember what trages are. Trages are bringing your brain to a state of unfair thinking where you're being violated and thus your actions become violative as a result. And so it causes irrational behavior. Now, at the point that these two have agreed to stage this on him, he becomes aggressive, not just towards her, but towards him. Now, if he's already been assessed as being physically, strategically, physically dominant in that situation, and whether financially or socially dominant, at this point, we're just at a fight. So she assesses that he could win the fight, right? And so she pisses him off. He gets mad. He gets really aggressive towards her. She knows how to play with his feelings because she's a trapper. That's what they study in men. So she stages him to lose his fucking mind in front of this other guy so that this guy can take a surface ethical look in which he's just protecting a woman. Now, this stages him to look like a bad guy, which then justifies their relationship. It justifies their connection. She moves from him to him, justifies their connection. Now, what happens is this guy is left confused, disturbed, completely fucking destroyed until he's eventually willing to participate in it because that's what he now believes is happening. That's what he thinks life is now. This is how people get indoctrinated into it. Now, in the case where a bunch of people just disagree with one person, this is something that they'll often do to disturb and fuck and humiliate people. They'll stage a person who agrees with this belief that this person doesn't to be with them so that another person who agrees with that belief can come and perform this take strategy to completely violate this person's brain and cause them to think illogically. Now, we know that in the stages where it's not being said on the surface, it's a secret intention, that the goal here is to prevent a guy from not only realizing it, but even if he's realized it, to not leave. Because once you're caught doing this, you're a tramp. You're a trap. That's what you are. You're a trap. So at this point, once a guy knows that's what this is and what's going on, if he knows you're a trap, then he leaves. He says, I'm not dealing with this. And so the goal is to prevent guys from leaving because there aren't a lot of good horses to ride. They're all going corrupt because of this, right? And so the goal is to maintain the inability for this person to leave. So the goal is to make sure that this guy can't leave her while she's doing traps. And so that means keeping him broke, keeping him financially unstable, and also threatening social consequences, but also keeping him physically unfit, making him lazy, making him unorganized, making him unclean, keeping him in a state that she can say, whenever she finds the other one that she wants, whenever she finds a better one, she finds him, makes him all the traits that she needs to justify a hypergamized, and then she finds a better person, boom, sets up the trap. She's pretty much just riding this guy like a horse, keeping him in a state lower than what's acceptable, so that she can find another guy and take it, and let him take her, at the cost of this guy's reputation in life. And so, because this has been happening, and because you people still don't take me serious, I got some time here to do some very fucked up things below the surface of physical occurrence, below the surface of flesh. And I want you guys to really suffer for this. I want you guys to really go through pain. And I mean real pain. I don't mean the kind of pain that we talk about. I don't mean the kind of pain that we write about. I'm talking about the kind of pain that even I don't think anyone should go through regardless, okay? You guys need that pain for this. You need that pain for this, okay? Because this is horrible. This is fucking horrible, okay?